Oh, he wasn't here last time, and he wasn't gonna send Steve, because it wasn't worth it.
They should be coming, as far as I know.
Have we heard from Nick? No? No idea?
Oh, Michael.
Nick's going to, wanna send Nick out to the end of March just to send a message? I think the first meeting. Oh, well, there we go.
You beat the smart money.
I lost that bet. But I didn't see anything new. Watch which finger you point at me, all right? I'll go forward. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is.
It's all right.
The clock's slow. We have to replace the battery.
What?
They were looking for you, but.
It's still early,
We got a few minutes.
Dave.
We
I'm
got
not
one-
late.
one member
I'm not
missing.
late.
That clock is slow. It needs a new battery.
4:58.
This is atomic time, 4:58,
I know.
right?
He's not late. He's on.
I'm not late.
I'm like the Tom Coughlin on the planning boards. If you're 2 minutes early, you're 5 minutes late already.
Too much for me.
It's recording.
Can I have a pen? Wait, no, I got one under here.
You have it?
It works.
All right, I say it's close enough, so. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the February 9, 2023 meeting of the Village of West Hampton Beach Planning Board. I'll ask the board secretary to start with the agenda.
Okay, the first application, we're gonna call really quick out of order, is going to be a fill permit for 213 Dune Road, number 8 on the agenda. Do we have a resolution?
I make a motion, we accept the resolution as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we'll go back to the top. Application number 185 and 105, Montauk Highway, corner restaurant.
Mr. Vero?
Only got my lighting cuts, so I'm packaging it together.
Okay.
Along with all the other details and Ron Hill's comments, and you'll have it for
Can you have it
next week.
to
And
us?
yeah, I'll have probably Monday or Tuesday. I'll have it.
Perfect.
I didn't want to bring it in today and
That
get all
way-
of that, so.
Okay,
That
so-
can holler at me, right? Good.
Would I do that?
Maybe later, you have more than one application?
I'm asking for
Every good board needs some muscle. So Britton and Ron and everybody will have time to take it before the 23rd. Terrific.
I make a motion, we hold the application over at the applicant's request until February 23rd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next application is number 2, West Hampton Inn LLC, 43 Main Street. They are held over to February 23rd.
Megan, we haven't seen any activity from this applicant in a while. Can we notify them that they have to show up with something substantive by the March 9th meeting?
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we.
I make a motion?
Make a motion,
Second.
please. Send them a letter.
Okay.
Thank you.
The next application is number 3, Prime Storage, 98 Depot Road. They're held over to February 23rd.
I make a motion that we send them a letter.
Second.
They have to appear by
All in
March
favor?
9th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 4, 55 and 59 Old Riverhead Road. They have requested a holdover to February 23rd. The next application is number 5, Firestar Holdings LLC, 14 Rogers Avenue. They're held over to March 9th. Next application is number 6, George Vickers, 25 and 27 Hazelwood Avenue. They're held over to February 23rd. Next application is number 7, Robert Schoenthal, 22 Bayfield Lane. They're held over to March 9th. The next application would be number 8, which is what we just adopted a decision on. The next application is number 9, First Dunes Development, 496 Dune Road. They're held over to February 23rd. The next application, number 10, Penn Mitchell Owner LLC, 10 Mitchell Road. They're held over to February 23rd. next application is number 11, Rogers Avenue Associates. They put in a written request to be held over to February 23rd. May I please have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
The next application is number 12, 12 Potunk Lane, 42 Stevens Lane. They're held over to February 23rd. The next application, 13, West Hampton Landings, 30 Mitchell Road.
No one here for the applicant? I think we were waiting on some submissions from them, some lighting submissions, correct? Have we received anything? March
Did they
9th.
stop into your office and talk to you like they were going to?
I had a couple phone calls, I asked the lighting guy to take a look, I haven't received anything.
Our agenda's pretty heavy on the 23rd. I'd like to see this one on March 9th.
I make a motion, we hold the application over until March 9th because of their delinquency.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next application, number 14, Michael Brunetti, 65 Main Street, Unit 5.
Nicholas Beer, sorry, do I stand here or do I stand over there?
Can you go to the podium?
I'm gonna go to the
please?
Go to the
podium.
podium,
Not A or B,
please.
Airbnb stands over there.
Could you just turn the microphone on?
And let's focus the camera really good on this guy.
Help me here, how do you do this?
It should be, there's a button right on top.
I'm aware. There it is. How we doing?
Now, is it green?
Okay. Green now, can you hear me?
Yep,
There we go. Wow, technology. Nicholas Beer Architect, 120 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach for the applicant, Michael Bernetti, 65 Main Street, Unit 5. We're here to seek permission to legalize, I guess it's a wood storage area that's in the back of the building as per our site plan and the drawing that we submitted to the board. I don't know how long it's been there. Michael, how long has it been there? Yes.
It's been there probably, I would say, almost a year.
So I guess
Took
we were
that
asked by
long.
the.
Took that long to get caught.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
No, of course.
So we were asked by the building department to come, I'm sorry.
Bretton, where do we stand on this one? You looked it over? Your comments? I thought you did.
I don't think it's the most attractive effort ever made. I mean, I think there could be a little bit of cleaning up there. It's an opportunity to make it look a little better. Maybe we should seize the moment. You know, it's just not appealing, driving back there and looking at that.
I agree with
That's
that.
just my personal opinion.
I think if it blended in a little better. You know, so kind of, you know, when I say blend in, you know what I mean.
Yep, absolutely. Okay.
So, other than that,
So in concept and theory, I would assume that a member or two of the board so far is in agreement that it's okay to be in that location. Megan, there was a comment, I think from Ron Hill, which I don't really quite understand what he was looking for. And I'm getting waved off by, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, Ron wasn't sure if this was a new use or not. It's not a new use,
Okay.
so I cleared that up with Ron last
So we
week.
can disregard the comment then? Okay, all right. So I think if Mr. Brunetti would let me do a little creative thinking, perhaps we can come up with some type of enclosure, make it look a little prettier. I'm sure that would be fine. It's
Blend it
just,
in.
okay.
What
All
did you do at the old building?
yeah, that's what we wanna know.
How did you handle that wood at your old location?
It was a fenced off area behind the building, so they had kind of all the dumpsters.
There was,
So it was hidden.
yeah.
Okay. Let's, I mean, this is not rocket science.
Understood. We started with what we have and we'll enhance it.
Do it so that
Much
we don't,
appreciated.
do it so that we don't have to send you the A or B if we see what they think about it.
They won't like the color. You'll be painting the wood.
Spare me, I'll do anything.
Then be gentle. 23rd or March 9th? 23rd's kinda heavy, so.
23rd, yeah, I just heard that. So are you okay with March 9th? It's not like they're stopping you from, making pizza.
Oh, no, that'd be great, thanks.
Okay, so,
And
yeah. let's
isn't
do-
the-
Actually,
Isn't the enforcement
I'm not
actions-
here March 9th. I can send Jason or maybe perhaps Michael can do it, but I'll do my best to have something in by
Well,
next
if you
week so you
submit a
can look
con-
at it.
If you submit a concept,
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Then that makes the
Yeah.
March 9th.
Yes, understood.
early next week,
Okay, you got it.
all right?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
May I
23rd?
please have a motion to hold that over?
I make a
to March
motion, we hold
Second.
the application until March 9th.
Second.
23rd. He's not here March. March, it's February 23rd. Nick, February 23rd, right?
No, March 9th.
You're not gonna be here March.
He doesn't have to be.
So February 23rd? If not, it's gonna go, all right.
I make a motion, we hold, I make a motion, we hold the application over until February 23rd at the applicant's request.
All in favor? Aye.
Number 15, 105-109 Main Street, LLC, 109 Main Street.
Good evening. Hello, good evening. My name is Gabby Chilingarian, architect. My office is 18 Mitchell Road in West Hampton Beach. I'm here tonight requesting review and comments and approval on the above-mentioned project. I was retained by Mrs. Liz Epstein, who's the owner of the building, who purchased it approximately a year ago. So she reached out to us to do some renovations on the building that clearly needs some work. It's in dire condition. There's a lot of water damage to the existing facade. So we're proposing to do a facelift and add some composition to the existing elevation, which we've submitted. In addition, we did a cursory review of the streetscape of Main Street, and we came up with some color palettes with respect to the finishes that we're proposing. Some of the topics and areas of concentration was, one, we paid attention to the Burner Building, which is a law firm. Their colors are a little darker than what we're selecting, and also we're looking at Tola, which is adjacent to her building. So we're trying to stay within the midpoint of the color palette. So I do have a side-by-side rendition of our project. So the one leeward is what we're proposing, and the one westward is the existing building. This is currently existing. I also printed out a picture of the Burner Building, so we can see a side-by-side comparison of the color difference. The Burner Building is much darker. We're trying to stay away from being too dark. We want to stay neutral. And then Tola, across the street, is somewhat in between as well. So we're kind of like right in the middle of the two. We're going to be applying a stucco finish to the building, and we're doing some metal precision awning on the front. So we are tonight to respectfully request approval so we can do the work.
Britton, do you have a comment on this?
I had circulated some comments, just because it's a, oh, do I need to use this? Hold on. Just because it's a freestanding building, so it has a pretty significant presence on the south side of Main Street. And it's not so much it just seemed like to be a harsh change to what it is. And I actually said that the Burner Building, this is a little, you took a section of the Burner Building, the other section of it,
Yeah.
helps to make it blend. It's the white section with all the white traditional elements that's attached to that sort of cantilevered portion.
Right.
So we had sort of maybe discussed, you have soft black canvas awnings now, you're putting these sort of hard standing seam. Maybe you could just introduce some traditional elements, maybe a little bit, you're taking off the wood pediment, you've kind of stripped all the classical things off the building, and I think maybe if you integrate, modern's fine, but have some history of where the classic elements were from, so that because that side of Main Street is very clabbered, very heavy cornices and trim with back bands and such. I think it could just, reintegrate some traditional, maybe downplay the black a little bit.
I see.
But we could send you to the ARB, the board.
I think that's the way we're going to proceed.
Yeah, I think the ARB is certainly gonna need to take a look at this. That's actually, it's their primary function as a village
Yeah.
board. So, I mean, it would be helpful to have their comments and their expertise on the subject.
Yeah.
But I do echo some of the comments. It does seem a little stark, a
Uh-huh.
little, it's nothing wrong with it per
Yeah.
se, but within
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
context, the vernacular of
location.
Main Street, to me, it seems a little harsh.
Sure, yeah, you know, when you look at the adjacent building,
Mhm.
I think that the trim work in the comments, I respect the comments and appreciate it. A lot of the details that were incorporated on this building, Brandon, these were done, I believe my client said, without permits.
I think
Right.
she put, like,
You wanna
I
come
went to
up?
work, I've been in that
Please.
building, okay.
Here, come
I've
up,
been in
please.
that building for a long time, but I just recently bought it. And I came to work one day and she had someone, she had a builder, someone there just attaching these things. They weren't there, they were just put on a few years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, she just, the shutters were there, but these things, one day I came to
We're
work.
not asking you to leave them.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
other thing is about, I know that you made a comment about this, the trustees and the mayor changed the variance so that I would be able to, so that the town, we could do things like this. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk to Brad about, but the town changed the whole variance so that there could be an awnings like this in town.
I don't think anybody's got a problem with the awning per se, it's,
And I think maybe the point was missed a little bit. It was just that, it wasn't that we like what, or whether we like what's there now. It's just that if you're going to go in the modern direction, you need to blend a little bit more of the traditional elements. And two examples of that were done very well, which is my comments to the board, was the Berner Law Group. Very nicely blended modern and traditional elements, so did Salt and Loft. And sort of look at those as examples of, I know the buildings on the next door are traditional, but I think you could find a middle of the road. Just by
Understood.
adding in some more traditional elements, maybe softening the colors a little bit.
Yeah.
this isn't, we're not Southampton Village. We're not sitting here saying you can't do anything, you
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
touch anything, but any change needs to be sort of incremental,
Absolutely.
not a wholesale
We're
change.
not, the only thing we're doing, we're not like changing, like, the only thing we're doing is making this more glass. You know what I mean? Like, we're not like doing, like, then we're just repainting the stucco. The only problem is if you send me an ARB, I can't do it for this year. I mean, sorry, it's very short window of season of being able to get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, unfortunately, I don't see a way around that. This is, hindsight's 20/20, but, this should have been something that's done last September or October, not in February. I know the season's coming up, but, we can't necessarily accelerate applications to meet the season.
Understood. So just so I'm clear, the opposition isn't with the color, it's more of the detailing?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both,
A
and
little
that
bit of both.
heavy black band, it sort of makes the building seem more squat.
Do you want us to get rid of the top black? Like, do you want us
I
to?
You're
think
too
that would be
dark.
an improvement.
I mean, is that
You're,
something?
I think you're too dark, right? You're in between.
I think
If
this
you
was
look at the block.
ARB area.
Right.
This is why you're going to the ARB.
That's why you're going
But
to
if
ARB.
you look at the one that you're holding next to it, you will see it's beige, there's white, there's dark. There is a mix of color palette there, so it's not all gray, black, that single basic
I
palette.
just don't know, because we're not changing the building. I don't know how we would add another color in there. Like, how would we could get rid of black up here maybe?
Well, the ARB may give you a very good idea when it comes to that. And I look forward to their comments.
If that's something you want us to do.
When's the next meeting?
The ARB meets twice a month, first Tuesday and the third Tuesday of each
So
month.
next
And when the board refers it, it just goes right onto the agenda, so.
So they'll be seeing them.
The code requires changes to the facade of a building of at least 20% goes to the ARB. There's no way around it. Even if this board didn't refer it to the ARB, I can't issue a permit without referring it to the ARB. It's within their best interest for you to refer it because the planning board can always.
Will they be on the ARB agenda for next week?
The following plans, different things.
You could be in next week?
What date?
The third Tuesday, I believe it's gonna be the 20th,
The 21st, right?
21st.
So if you bring in whatever it is
Yes.
tomorrow, I guess you can make it on the agenda. It doesn't have to be advertised, I think.
It will make the advertising. We'll put it on if the board refers it, but we can refer it with the comments.
So I'd rather
Here
we
tonight.
refrain from any substantive comments
Okay.
other than what we've done already, pending their
Yes, sir.
commentary. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to.
I make a
refer-
motion,
Hold on one second, are we referring it with your comments, or are we just sending it as a referral?
we're referring it with Britain's
With
comments.
Chris's comments, yeah.
Okay.
Because that's pretty much, kind of, we're all saying kind of the same, similar things. So they're gonna look at it and know exactly what we're talking about.
Understood. And then we circle back to you guys?
We're gonna hold you over to the 23rd.
Okay.
So if you're done with them and we get their report back in time,
Yes.
it could be 2 weeks hence that if we get the report back from their meeting before our meeting, then we can probably have a conversation at that
Can we
point.
close it on the 23rd then?
let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about
We,
closing it till we know.
we don't know what kind of changes we're talking about.
But there is, I'm sorry, there is a component that Liz touched on. The part of this is into the village-owned right-of-way. You can proceed with the trustees seeking that license, which is a renewable, a new thing we put into the code this year.
I don't see the awning itself being the issue, it's just how's it gonna look?
Got it.
So I don't think you're gonna have a problem getting the awning, I don't think that's an issue at all, there's
I was
awnings
trying
all
to
over the
think- I was
place.
just trying to think of a way to make it less black for you, that's what I was like, that's it.
Well, it's dimensional, that's really more dimensional relief, right, from the trustees. It's not
It's a
really.
license,
24
it's,
inches, right?
Yeah, maybe we could do a no objection for that portion of it.
because they normally will refer it. Have we had any yet?
This is the first one. We haven't had any yet.
Test case.
Do that on the
You're
20
the test case.
When they come back for the ARB on the 23rd, if we don't have any big issues, then,
That's,
yeah,
that's,
we'll
that's
do that
okay.
then. We'll wrap
That
it
would
all up.
still be in.
Assuming
time.
the ARB, we can get this sorted on the 23rd, we can wrap it
Be
all
able to
up.
get on
in
the
a-
trustees
Excellent.
March
So
agenda.
once again,
So
I
once
make a
again,
motion.
You
do I have a second?
Okay. Second.
All in favor?
We'll see you on February
All right,
23rd.
so much.
See you on the
Thank you.
23rd, good luck.
It
with
looks
the
very
ARB.
good. It'll be a good improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next application, 16 GLD BV LLC, 279 Green.
For the applicant, David Gilmartin Jr., Greenberg Troy, 2317 Montauk Highway, Bridgehampton. This is the dune deck, which you have seen on numerous occasions, as you've approved it once. And I
I
think
haven't eaten there yet, though.
you haven't eaten it? No.
How's the food?
I don't know.
They don't let my kind in there. Actually, to cut you short, David, it seems like you've met a wall of indifference from our, from the powers that be, our consultants. You're just adding a break room inside, there's no change
Employee
in
break room.
dimensions.
It's 1,100 square feet, through the operation of the restaurant. We found out that it's been very difficult for our employees to get an area where they can take a break from a hot kitchen and have a place to go to the air
Where's it
conditioning.
going inside? If you're looking at it from Dune Road, where's it gonna be?
Front, right-hand side, under the building.
And Brad, Britton, we got no issues planning,
Went to the zoning.
okay. And it doesn't affect the site plan really in any effect?
Doesn't create parking, doesn't create.
Sanitation.
Same
issues,
footprint,
no-
and same
No change in
footprint,
the
no
exterior.
No, if you drive by now, behind the sport court, you'll see like a screen, like a green screen that covers the pilings. That's where you wouldn't still see that today. You wouldn't see it.
So
Just
what
wait
do we
for a
do, no
second.
objection?
Can we just do a letter?
It's a modification.
Modification.
Right, we need health department, we need to inform the health department that application's in, we expect to get approved.
Do we need to do we do
Yeah.
resolution? All right, so we'll hold you over for resolution on the 23rd.
Great, thank you.
A motion?
I make a motion, we hold the application over until the 23rd.
Second.
All right.
All fair?
Aye.
Okay, the next application, 17 SJS Affiliates, 25 Stillwaters Lane.
We had some issues on that one.
I sent you comments, Diane, if you have them.
Yes, I was going to mention them, maybe I'll start with that, if you don't mind. Are you talking about the memo that we got on January 30th?
Yep.
Oh, my application is actually for the sanitary system. We're upgrading the sanitary system. It's going to have a concrete retaining wall. When representatives of the village went to the site, they decided that underneath the building, it's a little bit lower. The building's on pilings, and it's a bit of a lower grade below the building, so they want us to put in some fill, probably would be sand fill, and some drainage. So I'd like to make that part of my application with you, so that I know all the fill that I'm putting on this site has been approved by this board. I sent you photographs showing that you're not gonna be able to see the sanitary system from the street nor from the property on the south side because of existing vegetation that's pretty dense. Where the sanitary system is actually a recessed area on the southeast side of the property. And as I said, we've already gotten approvals for that, and I think the comments that the village made are very acceptable.
We're okay?
Yeah, we don't have any issues. The property is lower than the street, and it's so much gravel and vegetation. There's really no chance of runoff into a neighbor's property or the street. The one thing, like we mentioned, the property's just kind of bowl-shaped, and it's just so low underneath the house that there's, seems to be standing water most of the time, which is possibly not a sanitary issue, so we just recommend that they bring some fill in there so that is not a ongoing concern.
Can we make that a condition we approve?
Yeah,
So, but other than that, we're good. So we can do a resolution on the 23rd?
yes.
You okay?
You okay?
I'm fine with that.
I'm sure.
Make a
a
motion,
good
we hold the
idea putting the
application
sand
over until the
underneath.
23rd in anticipation of the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, the next application, 28 Library Avenue LLC, 28 Library Avenue.
Good evening, Steve Caputo, 120 Mill Road, West Hampton Beach, for the property owner, 28 Liberty Avenue LLC. This is a fill application, and I believe, Brad, did the engineer deliver to you his updated plans as he indicated he did?
Yes, we were having an email issue. I lost email after noon today from 12:09 on. So it was, the engineer sent it either yesterday or this morning. I sent it to Ron, but I don't know if Ron got a chance to see it, and obviously he's not here to speak for it. I would assume he addressed, but I don't know for sure.
Can we hold it over?
Well, what we're gonna do it anyways. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna hold you over to the 23rd in anticipation of a resolution, provided whatever your engineer sent satisfies
Ron's
Ron
report.
and the building inspector.
Okay.
Fair
That
enough.
fair?
That sounds very fair.
Terrific.
I make a motion, we hold the application over in anticipation of a resolution on February 23rd.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's it. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Great. Okay, that was relatively painless. Right? See, at least Hafley has the good sense to ask for really long adjournments. He knows better.
No, I don't know what he did with that.
See, I never understood that, because it's like, you know what? Ask for a 6-month adjournment, and if it gets done early, send a letter saying, listen, I'd like to come see you earlier.